Hey guys, a few weeks ago I was scrolling through Reddit, as you do, get bored of Instagram and Facebook, I moved to Reddit, and I saw a really interesting question, and it was, those who dumped their ex, was breaking up the right decision? And in the context to this, in hindsight, do you feel that it was correct of you to break up with your ex? And if you were being dumped, do you feel it was for the best that the relationship ended? Now, I've only ever dumped one person. I have been the dumpee before, and that's that. It sucks either way. But the one time I dumped someone, it was such the right decision for me, to the point I didn't even cry. At no point have I cried about this relationship being over. Granted, it was 12 years ago, so if I cried now that would be a bit weird, but I didn't cry at all. So a bit of backstory. So this relationship, I was 20, I think, just 19, turning 20 maybe, when I started this relationship. It was someone I'd known for a while. I ended up moving up the country to be with this person, moved in with his parents, which in hindsight was a really bad idea, and things were great to begin with. I was able to kind of ignore a lot of red flags because I didn't really realise there were red flags at the time. I was very naive. I was very much a people pleaser, and I felt as though as long as this person's happy, then everything's going to be fine. But things started to turn for me when he wouldn't get a job and I would pay for everything, and his mum, bless, wouldn't let me pay rent because she said if he's not working then it's unfair that I should have to pay rent to live there. But I would help out with like grocery shopping and stuff like that, and he wouldn't get a job, and if he did, he couldn't keep a job. He would smoke a lot, which is fine, like I used to smoke, but that's where my money was going, was on his cigarette and also his drink. So he would drink a lot, and I remember one night he was drunk and he said to me, I think I'm an alcoholic, and I repeated it back to him in the morning and he couldn't remember he said it. And I never felt like I was a priority to him. My money was, my bank card was, but I wasn't. So red flags started, or what we now know as what we now call red flags, and we went to Download Festival. Now before we'd gone to Download, we were having problems. The February beforehand we were meant to go stay in Cardiff, and we got into a fight and I cancelled it, and I said I don't know if I can do this anymore, and he was like, no, let's do Download, please, let's try. And Downloaded in June, so from February to June I was still in this relationship, although I think in my mind I was feeling that I didn't want to do this anymore. But I continued anyway because yes, Download, we were going with a bunch of people. And Download's expensive. Even then it was like 250 a ticket, and I wasn't gonna kind of like, you know, whatever, wasn't gonna give that up. So we went to Download and we were with some friends, and I said to my ex, one thing, please don't get high, because I don't know these people very well. I just feel as though I'm going to be on my own and I'm not going to know anyone, and I'm going to be really, really shy and anxious about it. So he gets high, and he passes out in our tent, and this is the first day of Download, and we're there for 5 days. So already I'm annoyed, I'm really pissed off at this point. And yeah, just basically didn't see him the rest of the day. So I'm there just like I don't know what to do with myself. Actually no, it might be the second day. Yeah, the first day we all drank together, and the second day, this is when this happened. And we were going to, Download has like a village, so to speak, with like vendors and food and rides and stuff like that. So we all went, we left him, we all went and did the rides and things. And my now husband was part of this group. Now, just before anyone jumps to conclusions, we did not cheat, nothing happened, we were just friends. Okay, just gonna put that out there because otherwise people jump to all sorts of conclusions, and I'm not there for it, and nothing happened. So I was kind of like on my own at the back of the group, and my husband came up to me and was like, are you okay? And I said, well, I'm kind of by myself, I don't really know what to do, I've never been here. Or had I? This was my second year. I was like, I don't really know these guys that well. I'm not overly comfortable or confident right now. And he looked after me. He made sure that that if I didn't want to do something, go on a ride, then he would stay with me. But I was always like, if you want to go on, it's fine, I'll just watch, like, it's fine. And then throughout the rest of Download, we just became really good friends. You know, he would make sure that he did nice things, like he would take my bag back for me, with my ex back off basically, and leave me. He would take my bag. He would I don't know, he would come and see bands with me that no one else wanted to see, and I later found out it's because he fancied me. All right, but my head was not there, so I didn't really twig. Now when we got back, we ended up going on a night out, all of us, and my ex again just wandered off back home, just left me in the middle of town with a bunch of people, and my now husband drove me home because he wasn't drinking, and we had a chat, and it was really nice. We were just getting to know each other. And then my now husband, texted me and said, you know, are you leading me on? Can we meet up to chat? And I was like, yes, we can, let's chat. But when we chatted, we didn't talk about it, we just got to know each other. And I started to feel like this respect, and someone actually wanted to know me and ask me questions about myself that my ex never had. I think it was maybe a couple of days after that, I remember doing my makeup on the bedroom floor. I think he said, I can't remember exactly what he said, but I just said, it's over, I'm done, I'm out. And that was it. He did try and meet me after work, and I was just like, look, it was awkward. I had to live at his house for 2 weeks. It was not great. But, you know, I was like, actually, I'm worth more. There's so much more that someone, you know, other people have shown me how worthwhile I am, and people liked me more when I wasn't with him, and I wasn't hanging out with him. And people, you know, people's opinions of him to begin with didn't bother me, like I could kind of get past it, but after a while you can't help but listen, and unfortunately it was true. So for me, yes, it completely was the right decision. Every breakup I have had, regardless if it was me or if it was them, was the right decision, because I wouldn't be where I am now. I wouldn't be the person I am today. I wouldn't be doing this probably. I wouldn't have the job I have, the house I have, the dog I have. I wouldn't have my husband. So all of these things that seemed heartbreaking at the time, especially when you're being dumped, because all of a sudden that person doesn't want you anymore, and they're saying that to you. And you know, you go from being with someone for a year or 5 years or whatever to actually never talking to them again. It's jarring, especially when you're not seeing it coming. You're not thinking something isn't right. I can sit here and I can go, oh, it was really hard, the breakup, and maybe it was because I was so young. Maybe I remember my first breakup, he broke up with me Boxing Day, and that was hard because that was probably my first serious relationship where I was like, this is going to be amazing. And I was probably, again, how old was I? 15, 16 at the time. We'd been together a couple of years. At that point it was devastating, not just because of what had happened, but how it had happened. I felt a bit used, to be honest. I'd rather be broken up with before Christmas and then have an iPod than have given it to you and not have it anymore. I didn't take the iPod back, that seemed petty, but in hindsight maybe I should have. I worked hard for that. And at the time, like I said, it was really hard and really heartbreaking, but afterwards you go, actually, in hindsight, I'm glad I'm out of that. I avoided something there. Yeah, I honestly, some of my dating stories are scary even to me now. Like when you look back and you go, how and why did I let that happen? Like, how did I not see this person was like this? How did I not kind of get out of this before? But I think when you're in it, it's really hard. And yeah, when you're being dumped, like I say, it's someone admitting they don't want you anymore, like you're not vibing, which is hard, but it is what it is. If you are considering breaking up with someone like I was with my ex, once that thought was in my head, it wasn't something that would go away. It's not where I was thinking, oh my gosh, if I left him then I'd lose this, this, this and this. I was thinking, if I left him, I will gain this, this, this and this. And you know, I moved into my own rented flat, and it was a small little place, but it was mine, and I loved living on my own. It was amazing. I could keep it the way I wanted to keep it, I could eat what I wanted and all this sort of fun stuff, and it was great. Yeah, once I'd thought about breaking up, there was no going back. That was going to happen. Whether it happened that week or the next month, it was going to happen. But I think you can sometimes get caught up on the one that got away. I don't know if I've had that. I don't think I have. Looking back, I've been very happy that my relationships have broken down. You know, some of them were toxic for some reasons and others were toxic for another reason. And it's only now where I'm seeing a lot of this red flag, beige flag, green flag stuff around that I've started to kind of realise what those mean and how naive I've been in the past. But yeah, never regret. Don't regret dumping someone if you feel it's the best thing for you, mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever. But also, if you are being dumped, just remember they will never get someone like you again. They don't deserve you now. You are amazing. You deserve so much, and they will always think about you as the one that got away. Another thing as well is if you do get dumped or you are the dumpee and you move on quicker than the other person, that's fine. It doesn't matter. You will both recover at different stages. Me and my ex, so I got with my husband probably a month after, which seems like a long time, but in my head I was already out of the relationship in the February, so I wasn't emotionally tied into the relationship anymore anyway. Yeah, you will both recover at different stages. Don't automatically assume if he does move, or you or him or whoever you're with, her, them, if they move on, which seems like a short amount of time, don't assume that they were with someone. It could just be that a friendship blossomed into something more after the breakup because you had time. You were able, you were free. Don't beat yourself up about it. Do make sure that you are okay first and foremost. And you know, I mean, my ex went out with a girl straight after me who had the same name as me, dark hair, cat eye makeup. Didn't last. She wanted to meet me, which I found really bizarre. We never did. I politely declined because I didn't want to get involved in whatever that was. Apparently she wanted to meet me, she wanted to kind of like see what I was like, and I didn't really feel like that was a good thing for anybody involved. If you dump someone or you are dumped, you can still look fondly on memories. You've spent time together, there would have been some good times, I'm sure, so don't automatically say everything about this relationship was bad, and don't forget that there was good things. There must have been something good for you to be together to begin with and to stay together as long as you did. But I've never regretted dumping the person I dumped, and being dumped, it hurts in the immediate time, but actually looking back now I'm like, you know what, that couldn't have worked out better for me because I'm so much happier now. That's all I have really for this, guys. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Let me know in the comments if you've been dumped, if you're the dumper, if kind of like how you've got through breakups, I guess. But yeah, like this video, leave a comment and hit that subscribe bell, and we will see you in the next one.